This is a video tutorial on how to use the Caqdas form, the form that allows users to easily transfer information from text to the PCA's database and to perform text coding in a similar way of the other computer-assisted qualitative data analysis software such as NVivo, MaxQDA, or Atlas-TI. You can open the form by pressing F4 to open the document list view form and then selecting the document that you want to analyze and then click on the Caqdas button here. Alright, as in all Caqdas programs, the form is divided into the left side is for the document display, and it's called the document panel, and the right side is for the display of the grammar and any coded information, and it's called the grammar panel. Several text formats are accepted for the documents displayed on the left side, such as doc, docx, rtf, txt, or PDF files. PDF files will be treated as image files. If you are visualizing a document in a text format, you'll be able to select a portion of the text from the left side of the form and then click on a selected grammar item on the right side to add the information in the database. For example, if you want to insert the word Negro inside the object victim here, updating the value that's already in the database, you have just to select the word Negro here and then click on the object where you want to put the data. And that's it. Now the word Negro has appeared and has been saved in the database inside the object victim under this primary complex. You can right-click on a node where you have dropped a value to highlight in the text the corresponding value, or you can double-click from the text on a red word and highlight the corresponding node in the tree. In the tree here we have three different types of objects. Objects with a plus sign before their name, such as process or participant S, are complex objects. The ones without it are simplex objects, such as victim, county, or relation to next triplet, source of information, type of event, and so on. Objects with a double plus sign before their name, such as event, macro event, or semantic triplet, are hierarchical objects. To learn more about the differences between all those objects, you can watch the videos about the setup grammar form or read the tips files. The simplex objects are the containers for your data, while complex objects are empty containers of sets of complex and or simplex objects. For example, inside the object semantic triplet, we have all those complex and simplex objects that we can collapse and expand by using the box here, clicking on the plus or minus sign near the node label, or clicking on the node, double-click to collapse them, and single-click to expand the node. You can also see objects that are enclosed in square brackets. Those objects are considered optional according to the grammar. That means that it is not necessary to add data inside them while coding a text. An example can be participant O or alternative triplet. While objects enclosed in curly brackets, like participant or alternative triplet or semantic triplet or event, are objects that can appear more than one time under the same parent. So that means that we can have more than one semantic triplet object under the same event object, or more than one event object, as we see here, under the same macro event object. To help you to identify objects in the tree in the grammar panel, their color is different according to their type. Yellow nodes, here, like those, represent the grammar objects that can be added to the database. So those are empty objects. They represent empty spaces where you can drop your data from the text. When adding a new value in a yellow object, you will notice that this will turn white to signal that the value has been saved in the database. We can add, for example, the word jailer in this node, and it has turned white. Blue nodes are required objects according to the grammar. That means that when we add a new object, event, we must add also a type of event object and a space object with one of the simplex objects under it. Objects that have this 1a, 1b notation here are mutually exclusive objects according to the grammar, and that means that only one of those two objects can have a value under the space complex node. So we can have only a city or a territory, but not both of them. The nodes which labels are dark blue are complex objects whose children have not been loaded yet in the tree. So if you left click on one of those objects, its label will turn black, as you can see, and all its children will be loaded in the tree. You can choose to load the whole tree at the opening of the form by putting a tick on this box. Red nodes instead are nodes that contain the data saved in the database. We can see here 2 nodes, and all the new object that you will add in the database will turn red, as you can see here. Let's say that we want to add a new simplex object of a certain type. To do that, if you don't see already a yellow simplex object under the node where you want to edit, for example, victim here, there is no other yellow node labeled victim. So you should select a node of the same type of the node that you want to add that is under the same parent where you want to add the new data. So now we selected victim. And then we can click on the add button here to add a new yellow node of the same type if the grammar allows it. And then we can add the new data inside this node, this way, as you saw before. To edit the value inside a simplex node, you can double click on it and then choose the new value, or you can use the button Quick Edit after selecting the node and do the same thing. To delete a node, you can select it and then use the delete button, and the node will turn yellow like an empty grammar object where you can add new data. You can also change the default colors blue, red, or light blue here that we use in the right subform and in the left subform by using the color button here. Let's take a look now at some of the other buttons available in the form. The search button here allows you to search for a node or a word in the text. So to use that, you need first to select the subform where you want to search the value. For example, here I click on the left subform and now click on the search button and type the text that I want to search, for example, Negro, and then click on the search button again. And now we see the word highlighted in the text. To navigate through the results, you can use those 2 arrows to go to the previous next value. To hide the search box, you can just click again on the search button. To search a node label, here you first click on the right subform, then click again on search, type the text that you want to search, and then navigate through the results using the arrows. The font button here allows you to enlarge the font on the left subform and on the right subform. The copy, paste, and cut button here allow you to copy, cut, and paste a node in the right subform in a new position in the tree. You can also change the order of the children of a node in the tree by using those 2 arrows, up and down, if you want to display the selected node in a different position. You can use the cross-references button to visualize all the documents imported in PCAST that are cross-referenced to an object in the tree. For example, here we have selected event, or we can select macro event, then we can click on the cross-references button, and we will see the 2 documents that are cross-referenced to this complex. We can do the same thing with event and all the other objects in the tree. If you then select a primary complex, you can use the Story View button here. If you click on that, it will allow you to see all the information about the selected primary complex in a more narrative form, retrieving all the information available for the object. The Go to Complex button here allows you to see more information about the currently selected object. Here I selected macro event object. And finally, the Detail View button will open a detailed view for the selected complex. I selected macro event and then clicked on the Detail View button, and here we see all its children, the cross-referenced documents, the currently selected document, the currently selected object, and so on. After that, the tree is refreshed because you can make changes in the data from that form such as deleting an object or changing the value inside a simplest object, and so on.